We're live now. Hey
Oh
everyone,
my God.
Joe and Mike back from buildassetsonline.com. Sorry for the delay, but here we are. How's it going, Mike?
I got no time to prepare. I don't know what's going on. I don't know
Well,
who's here. How do I look? How do I sound?
you sound good. You look good. We got 9 people watching. Today we're going to be
Okay.
doing a
Who are
niche site income report for November 2021. It's always an exciting time for niche sites because I feel like that's when you see the biggest growth spike. The ad revenue goes up, the affiliate commissions go up, and it usually drops sometime in January, depending on a few things. But then it kind of stays above where it was last year. That's been the trend. So it's always kind of a monumental type thing to see where things are headed with these types of sites. And so,
they? Yep.
yeah,
Sorry, I had to turn my mic off because I was loading some things.
that's all right.
But you're right, Joe. Yeah, so it'll rise up, and then wherever it lands after Q4 is kind of the new normal. It's the new normal for the niche sites.
Yeah.
It's been like
So
that for a few years. We've noticed that trend.
Yeah, so this episode is brought to you by the Online Asset Playbook. Buildassetsonline.com/playbook. Grab our free course today. So before we get into it, most of you probably already know this, but Mike and I, we run many different kinds of websites. We talk a lot about drop shipping. We talk a lot about Kindle publishing. But these niche sites, I think, are going to be the bigger players in our portfolio probably in the next 2 to 4 years. Just because really all you have to do is throw money at them and they kind of run themselves once all your systems are in place. They're definitely the easiest to grow in that regard because there's not much to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, if you're willing to wait a year or two or three for some serious earnings, the niche sites are really the best because, yeah, I mean, it's not like, when we talk about the um, build assets online, approved business criteria, we talk about the compounding result as one of the six factors. So the niche sites are really the bread and butter of that because we're not really doing anything different per se. You're literally just putting articles out. And over time, doing the same action over and over and over actually starts to yield better and better results just by the nature of, I think John Dykstra kind of pointed this out to us that the more stuff that he puts out, the more traffic he seems to get because Google's going to be crawling your site more and actually build authority for your website. Just the merit of having more articles on your site.
Yeah, not to mention building links, having natural links come in. It's
Yeah.
all it's all part and parcel with putting more articles out. Um, we have a question in the chat. Sav's Money, what do you mean by niche site? Is this drop shipping? No, this is not our drop shipping stores. This is just separate websites that make money. We'll show you how they make money. Let's get to the next slide. So the first
Yeah, and
slide.
Sav, if you want more insight, I would say search Build Assets Online Lint, Lint. And so we break down exactly what we mean by niche site because, yeah, it's just essentially blogs that make money through organic traffic, and then we monetize that in particular ways. But if you want further education, go there.
Right. So here we go. This is the first screenshot. Amazon affiliate. Still our biggest earner, unfortunately. I don't want it to be this way, but it is. Ooh, UK 997. What a number. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, so the total earnings for November were $9,406.42. That's mainly across, I would say, 4 sites is the bulk of that. But yeah, nothing to sneeze at there. I'm not looking to grow this that much. If I am growing it, I'm doing it in a more way. I'm growing it with the aim of just growing the ad revenue, which we're going to look at next, if that makes sense. Like if I'm putting out articles that link to Amazon, I'm not doing it because I want Amazon to be the primary earner per se. I'm kind of doing it as a little bit of a bonus, if that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. So you'd make an article with the intention of monetizing it for ad revenue, but just for, you know, giggles, you'll put an affiliate link in that article.
Let me give you a better example. So on one of our blogs, it's not monetized with ads yet because it doesn't have enough monthly traffic. So I want to get it to. I actually want to put it on Ad Thrive, which is you need I think 100K per month, and this particular site doesn't have it. I might put it on Mediavine once it hits 50 per month. It's really close, 50K sessions. So until I reach that point to get those sessions, I'm just putting out like affiliate articles, not because I care about the affiliate revenue long term per se, but I just want to get to that traffic threshold and I want to do it profitably.
Wouldn't the smarter thing to do be to just put out ad optimized content because it's easier to rank and get traffic for, say like an informational type term, and then you'll have those ad pages.
Well, this site is just ranking so well for commercial terms. Like I feel that I don't know. I'm riding with it, you know.
Okay.
It's working, so why stop it, you know?
Okay.
That's about it. But I figured once it's almost at the threshold anyway, so once it gets there, then we're gonna start looking at more informational terms. It's hard to, I mean, it's one of those things where when I find a group or a cluster of keywords that I think are going to be good and that can be done at scale, I don't think too much about it. I just research it, get the titles done, frame it the way I'm going to frame it, and then move forward. Yeah, I don't feel like there's too much of a point trying to make like predictions as to because I'll get to it. If I have another keyword idea, I'll get to it eventually, and it'll get done.
So how do you feel like that plays into just the overall mindset when doing SEO or doing these content-based websites? Because I feel like we have a lot of students that they want a specific plan of action and some sort of mathematical formula that's like, hey, you make this, you do this and this and this, you're going to yield this result. And I feel like something that we I think it's natural for humans to want that, and especially with business. But with SEO, I think we had to learn the hard way that it's kind of like you just got to put the content out there and see what sticks, and then go from there.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I have a way I do things to kind of give us the best chance of ranking by making like topic clusters for low competition stuff. Excuse me, but I don't like to spend all my time speculating and calculating whether one particular article is going to rank. Because you can spend all your time speculating and calculating, and then it could turn out the thing you thought was going to rank doesn't rank, and then the thing and vice versa. So I think it's just and I used to be like this. I used to be like checking the analytics multiple times a day. Like, I calculated this. When is this going to rank? And I would go drive myself nuts with it. But now I think the more laissez-faire approach, the more laid-back approach, just putting the stuff out there, building some high-quality links, and just letting it go, and then checking it, doing an in-depth check every couple months is better. Because you really have to look at it, I think, on a year-by-year approach, not like a month-by-month or even that.
I think there has to be as little time spent on speculation as possible when it comes to doing this, because it's just time that you're wasting. You could be figuring out what other articles to put out. Yeah, like exactly. When we talked to again John Dykstra, I remember he was like, we tried like asking him, like, what are you putting out articles on? Like, how are you determining what to do? And he's just like, man, I'm just putting stuff out there with like reckless abandon almost.
Yeah, and my approach is a bit different than his, but yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways it's the same, because I'm just finding topic clusters, and I do have a way of researching it, which we talk about in our blogging course. But you know, I just the quantity is the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're setting a framework, and we're just doing it, and not trying to get too speculative about what might work, what might not work. Just get it out.
Yeah, but I'll try different. Like if I see what'll happen is I'll notice that something's ranking that I didn't expect it to, or it's ranking for a keyword that I didn't expect it to, and then I'll explore that a little more, go down that rabbit hole, and say,
Yeah.
that worked. Let me make a bunch of these.
That's not speculation though. Speculation would be trying to figure that out beforehand, versus, like I said, following the framework, putting stuff out, and then based on what actually sprouts up, you could say, oh, okay, let's explore this now some more, and that kind of dictates where you go.
Exactly. So that's Amazon affiliate, $9,400.06. The next thing we got is Mediavine, which we made $5,286.81. So these are the display ads I was talking about. We're in a few more ad networks, but this is the big one in term. And we have one site that's earning more than the rest. This one site earned $4,100. I think it probably earned the most in Amazon affiliate as well. But yeah, that was the first site we ever created. Started out as a flop. Just kept going with it, and now it's a little engine that could. So
very good.
Yeah, there's not much to say about that. I mean, on this particular site, the one that's earning the big one, I'm really focused on nothing. I'm not doing affiliate stuff for this. I'm mainly just trying to put out as much informational content as possible, just to garner those natural links and just to get as much traffic as possible. I want to snowball the traffic. Like I want to just, right now it's in last month, 206,000 sessions. This time next year, I want that to be 1 million sessions. So times 5, and then we'll earn 20,000 from that one site. And the way I'm going to do that is just really, we're leaning in. We're going to use that corporate buzzword. I'm leaning into the informational content.
Why can't you just say doing more informational content?
Because these corporate schmucks got to make themselves seem like they're doing something special.
So do you think we'll be able to sell this site for $1 million one day?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I see it. I see this slowly chugging along in the background. So by the time we sell our last dropshipping site, well, we have a couple that we need to sell, but that we're going to sell. But by the time we exit all of our dropshipping sites, these are just kind of going in the background, and it's kind of like a full on retirement. I don't know. I just kind of view them that way.
Do you think if you stop putting out articles today, in a year from now, if it would still be earning the same?
Might be earning more.
Do you think?
Yeah, might be earning more. I have some sites that are like that. Like that middle site that earned.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Waldo 56588. You mean?
I think you're looking at the wrong slide. I'm still on the Mediavine slide.
My bad. Yeah, it's hard to see. Gotta zoom in on this shit. Oh, whoops.
Whatever.
The point is that site you did not add any new stuff to?
Yeah, a couple of. I think maybe I added a couple of new things, but barely anything. They mainly just grew, just because they grew. So
good. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, what is your experience with that type of thing? Because I know you're more involved in the community than I am. So, do you know people that have sites that they put up like several years ago, and then those sites just continue to grow year over year without any input?
I don't know if they would grow year over year, but they might kind of stay steady. Mm-hmm. I mean, that you'll mainly see that. I mean, it definitely could happen. I don't see. I mean, because think about it. So, say you have say you have 3,000 informational posts, and they're kind of evergreen, like they're not. So this is another part of the strategy that I do for the ad revenue stuff. So if you look at like a tech blog, like tech is always changing. Like if you want to do like a Windows 10 tutorial on change on I don't know, like how to do something on Windows 10, Windows 10.2 or Windows 11 is going to be out before you know it, and then that's going to be irrelevant. Or like, you're talking about the newest laptop part or whatever, the newest iPhone, it's going to be outdated in like 6 months. So I like to focus on
Yeah. So
content.
well, so assuming that term, the terms that it's ranking for are not going to have a sort of decrease for any of those reasons, um, I would think that one of the reasons it could go down would be because, say, more competitors coming up, or just Google seeing that the site is less active, or any combination of that type of thing.
Yeah, but I,
What
I
are your thoughts on
think
that?
I think if you have the articles and they're getting backlinks, at a velocity, say you have 3,000 articles, and your competitors are still coming up, your site is generating backlinks naturally. You're not doing anything at a velocity that's pretty high. I see no reason why it can't grow without you doing anything.
Okay, so that's the opposite side of it, right? Some of the reasons that it might actually continue to grow is because you're going to be generating backlinks almost on autopilot. And so the more you get backlinks, the more authority your site gains. And the more authority you gain, the more, your ranking is going to go up, and therefore your traffic will increase instead of decrease.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my goal with that bottom site that says 4,100. And sorry that the font is small. It's like I don't know. I can't take these screenshots in a good way and still have our faces on the stream.
Well, listen, we're reading to you. You got to believe us when we say it says $5 million.
Anyway, so moving past that, we'll go through the rest of this quickly. So we have another ad network where we earned. So it actually adds up to. Wait a second. Did I do this right? So one of these sites we only get half of because it's a partnership. The one that says 381.46. So there's one that says 381.46 and one that says 287.68. 46 divided by 2 plus 287.68. So yeah, our cut of this whole thing is 478.41. We'll just move past this. So we have Clickbank. This is on one of our sites. We have a site that focuses on a Clickbank offer. The net sales were $2,436.13. You can see it in the bottom right corner. Sorry, it's so small, but our half of that is $1,218. Nothing to sneeze at, since this site was basically created for free. We didn't have to invest a dime in this site in terms of content because we partnered with a writer. So this next thing is Skim Links. So it says we earned $406.08, or no, $408.88. And so we have another partnership. The other person's keeping about half of that. So we earned $204.86. And finally, one more ad network, Monumetric, where we earned $156.66 last month. So the total of all the things that it adds up to is $16,751. Nothing to sneeze at. We had around 2,900, I would say, in writing costs. I just brought on a new writer towards the end of last month. So yeah, she's been writing a bit. But yeah, I mean the total. I'm happy with that. I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's going to be next year.
Yeah, and I mean, as this continues to grow, assuming we can keep up this level of profit, or in the next year or two, have that be the average, that's over $500,000 in asset value, right?
Yeah, assuming
That's
it can keep up.
40x. Yeah, I mean, but we're we should be growing because we're not just leaving things stagnant, even though it could grow if you do that. But we have multiple writers in place. We're getting a lot of backlinks. We're getting some crazy backlinks actually, and some of these websites were actually pretty new. So there's going to be a lot of. I think we're just on the cusp of the hockey stick traffic explosion
Yeah.
that you see with a lot of different sites.
And of course, like what was not calculated in this was one of these sites, which is earning some affiliate revenue. Some affiliate revenue. It earned about, I think, 2,500 of that Amazon affiliate revenue. That site also points to one of our drop shipping sites, which has made us sales, of course, and that is not calculated as part of this niche site earnings because that gets calculated as part of that drop shipping site.
Yeah, I think the niche site plus the drop shipping stuff is really one of the most secret weapons, most underground tactics in the business, Joe. And it's not even we've fleshed it out pretty much for free online for people, but I don't see a lot of people doing it still. And yeah, I mean, it took us years to get to this point of making almost $20,000 with pure niche sites, but with that site that points to our dropshipping store, I mean, I don't even know how much profit it makes us, and it hasn't even been a year. I'd have to literally go back. I'd have to check and see like how many sales it refers, but I think it's at least like $8,000 profit a month.
Yeah, so that's good stuff. Sav's Money asks, when did you start this site? Well, this is a total of like 5 sites. I mean, they've been started about different points over the past few years. Sorry, I don't have a specific answer for you there.
I like how you're lounging right now, Joe.
I gotta stay relaxed.
You don't see people doing this. You don't see the gurus this relaxed.
The gurus are always nervous.
They're nervous and they're high energy.
Some of them are sociopaths.
We're very low energy because we don't want you to buy our stuff.
Speaking of low energy, I think the word has been in about the ASMR video.
Oh, what's the word?
People want it. People want it.
You gotta do an ASMR webinar.
You don't want to put people to sleep before they before the end, before the buy button pops up. You don't want people sleeping.
So that's a total value of $20,000, and so you get all that for $997 if you go to buildassetsonline.com/go. I can only offer this for the next 30 minutes. So if you're asleep, please wake up and buildassetsonline.com.
That's pretty good. Maybe you should do the video.
We can go back and forth.
I don't know about that. I don't know if we're doing a 2 guys 1 mic ASMR video at this point. I don't know.
We gotta get the binaural microphone.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm secure enough with myself. Anyway,
what else is going on, Joe?
Nothing really. Been playing Dota. I got a new computer coming in, so that's exciting. So that should be good for the live stream quality. I guess this one does a decent job, but yeah, it should be a little bit of an upgrade. And you got your connection going well now, so hopefully people have been appreciating the good quality.
Good. I'm glad it's going well. I don't have the Ethernet even in yet, but maybe one day. I gotta get the adapter for my MacBook Air.
Yeah, just order the adapter. Sav's Money. What shows you guys are real is that you provide good content with a following that probably doesn't generate much that income.
That much income.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by So you're saying our following is too small to generate any significant income?
Yeah, he's saying we're real because we're probably not making any money doing this, so we're just giving out the content for free.
Well, what do you estimate that we would make from build assets online having such a small following? Because as a matter of fact, I'm working on a course that talks about how to do just this, how to create your own personal brand and sell information products. So if we're not making a decent amount of money doing this, then maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I mean, I think for what we do with Build Assets Online, it's a pretty good gig.
It's a great gig. I
Do we
mean,
like better Build Assets Online or the content side?
I think they're both really good gigs. I think so. The great thing about online business, and this is where dropshipping this is, I think, the major downside that dropshipping has, and people always ask us, "Oh, why don't you just make $1 billion off your dropshipping stores?" Is that there's just so much logistics with dropship. Like you gotta really have a team in place to, when you start hitting like big numbers, and it becomes a headache. Whereas these niche sites, build assets online, it's not a headache. It's just easy. Like we just get on this and we talk and make some course videos and help people out. It's not like stressful. Not that
Yeah,
dropshipping is stressful, but it's like, I don't know. And you get 100% margin. Like it's good.
yeah. I mean, dropshipping is stressful at certain times, depending on how involved you are, um, the suppliers you have. I mean, I feel like I've gone through a lot of stress trying to get the dropshipping sites to where they are, but now it's certainly less stressful. And I think the more you outsource, the less tolerance you have for stress, and the more you make, the less tolerance you have for stress. Because like, I'm not gonna sit there and like argue with the customer and cause a headache for my employee or something over like a $70 return shipping cost or something.
Yeah.
Because what is that going to do for me versus the headache that it relieves from the situation? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say dropshipping is probably the most stressful business model, but it's the quickest way to earn money, and it's like the you can make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
But
You
it's like
said
Wall Street.
you said the other day, you said you can make as much money as you want dropshipping if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah, yeah. If you're willing to endure the stress, if you're willing to go through the headaches of the growth pains, um, because like Grant Cardone says, the more if you grow quick, you'll start to have I can't word it as eloquently as he did, but you start to have new problems when you take too much action. And so if you're willing to do that, um, then good for you.
Yeah, so let's clarify what we're talking about with that, because we're on the subject of niche sites here. What people might not understand is that, so say you're making $10,000 a month profit with a drop shipping site. You know, you're gonna probably be moderately like busy. Like you might need a kind of a small team. It's not too bad. But to go to $10,000 to $20,000, like you're gonna have to like maybe double your team. Just the amount of logistical things in your operation essentially doubles. Maybe you're dealing with more suppliers now. It's more people that your business has to email back and forth. It's
Hmm.
just all these things compound and add up on top of each other to the point where, the more you grow your dropshipping site, the more they compound. So that's why we move to this. That's why we invest in these other sites as well, because if you have the money to do it and the time to wait it out, which we do thanks to dropshipping giving us our fantastic foundation, if you will, because to have a site earning $100 a month versus a site earning $100,000 a month, a niche site, it's literally not that much different. It's
Yeah,
almost the same thing. In fact, you're probably
Yeah,
doing more work for
the,
your $100 a month site.
that's the important distinction. Is that the work involved scales linearly with dropshipping. Maybe not exactly linearly because you'll have to outsource at some point. Like, our dropshipping stores are probably eclipsing definitely the $50,000 profit a month, $50,000 profit a month mark. Probably getting closer to the 75, 100. I don't even know, but there's no way I could do that myself. Like that would be, I would die. So we have a lot of employees, and so like I'm not involved in each individual thing, but it is still a lot of managerial work to a certain extent. But so yeah, there's a carryover with that. With the sites, no one's contacting you. There's no like customer service that's involved. It's just silent traffic, and you just watch your income grow, whether it's $100 a month, whether it's $1,000 a month, whether it's $100,000 a month. So that's really important, and that's the whole idea of the online asset pyramid, is that you're taking all this money that's coming in from the drop shipping, and you could just take that money. You have a few options. You can put it in the bank, let it sit there, pay taxes on it, or you can put it into more drop shipping, which will create more work for yourself. Not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we worked on drop shipping for years, but drop shipping also doesn't take that much money because you're just scaling. Like as you make more, you're just recycling the same money over and over and over. Like we literally recycled probably $3,000 into over $1 million. Just through, you make a sale, pay the supplier, get the customer to pay you, and boom, 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 boom. So you can take that money that you make from the drop shipping, you allocate it into buying articles, and then that starts spitting out more passive cash. And now look at you. You've built assets online.
Yeah, what people don't realize about these niche sites is that maybe this income report, and maybe that's what I think the income reports on these can be kind of deceptive in a way. And then because we have a lot of people that have started niche sites and failed because if they miss the mark out of the gate and it just doesn't start making money fast enough, which can happen, they're kind of like dead in the water, or they don't see the motivation to get over the hump to where it starts generating a significant amount of income, and so they just stop doing it. So I think to really succeed at this, you need to have a decent sized like chest of cash to fall back on to succeed at the
you
niche.
not care about the earnings you're putting into the content sites each month.
Yeah, you can certainly write it all yourself. I mean, that's not a problem. But again, you can experience burnout that way really quickly. You got to be writing consistently to the wind and not seeing, any kind of substantial return with these type of sites if you don't want to invest any money. And it's not, that's why we always say go with drop shipping first.
Yeah. Yeah, I think to write these yourself is kind of ridiculous. I know Income School has their Project 24 course, which I don't know if they've changed it, but back in the day, that basically meant writing for 2 years, 24 months, in order to be able to quit your job, which I find to be pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I think with the content sites, as long as you have a framework for how to do keyword research, and you have a process for having someone write the articles and put them up on the site, once you start to get that initial feedback of traffic coming in, a little bit of money coming in, you can see how, you're putting in a consistent investment each month, but the earnings are going up and up and up, and you can kind of see how, you can get into the black. Then, yeah, I think that's how you have to do it. And of course, in our blogging course, you get access to us. We can kind of guide you along the way, but I think that's how it has to be done. I mean, if we look at some previous income reports we've done for this, you can go back and see like historically how our earnings have gone up, and it hasn't been much of a change in terms of the processes or even like the amount of work we've had to put into it.
Yeah, yeah. So in the chat we have 444 Tom 444 got a kick out of Sav's money saying that Bao doesn't generate much income. I mean, it makes a decent amount. I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. I'm sure we're not making as much as some of the big gurus out there, but you know,
We're getting there.
yeah. Uh, Israel is Zari says small following, but the number of people who have signed up to their program has been well worth the ROI. They have been doing this casually.
So I guess
Yeah.
Israel is our new press secretary.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. Thank you for the comment.
Michael Lacko says, "Hi, I see you're also building your faces." I don't know what that means.
I
Like
think our
growing a beard.
beards.
Yeah. Well, it's getting cold. It's snowing actually.
Joey, are you doing something with your mic? It's
Oh
like
yeah, sorry. I was playing with the legs. I'll stop. I'll stop.
it's reverberating.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, that's about all I got. I'm happy to end this at the 40-minute mark. I feel like we've made a lot of salient points.
Yeah, I mean, unless anyone has any more questions, we'll wrap it up. We don't need to do the hours anymore. We're big time now. We got ad revenue. We got subscribers coming in on autopilot. We do this for you guys. So
Yeah, the only reason we were doing those hour streams in the beginning is because I wanted to get the YouTube monetization for ad revenue. But it wasn't actually for ad revenue per se. It was because I was under the assumption that once you get monetized on YouTube and you monetize your videos, that you get more viewers. Which I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. People say it's not the case. Some people say it is the case. But either way, that's why I wanted. And but it's not like we make that much money from ad revenue like on YouTube. Like, you know.
I want to actually make a point with that.
Okay.
Like when it comes to YouTube, obviously owned by Google, same as Google search engine. There's just so much speculation as to what works, what doesn't work. Like you can look up any strategy for SEO or for YouTube, and someone will talk about how it works. So I think really the only way to ensure your success doing YouTube or doing content sites is the consistent action, because the information out there is invariably going to be somewhat incorrect, because no one has access to the Google algorithm. No one has access to the YouTube algorithm. People do things, they think they know what's going on. And so you may try to emulate it. It doesn't work out for you. And so like we've on our journey of doing these SEO sites, like we've fallen victim to so much wrong information, incomplete information, and us also not even interpreting the information correctly because we're so new. So you have to just put in the time of putting your own articles out there, seeing what works for you. Obviously, following a framework is good, and I think what we put out is pretty low risk, and we're pretty transparent about what happens in our sites month over month. But yeah, you can't really listen to anyone blindly. You have to kind of get your own experience and go from there.
Yeah, actually, so one of my wife's friends, I'm guiding her to making a YouTube channel, just because it's something that I guess they want to make a little bit of money on the side or whatever, and so I kind of deducted that like that's the only feasible thing that she could. There's the least amount of barriers to making a YouTube channel. Like, you just make the video and upload it. Like that's what you have to do at the core of it. Obviously I'm showing her some things in terms of keyword research and maintaining a publishing schedule and things like that. But the main thing I tell her, and this is true with everything, is that you gotta, like, I told her publish one video a week. Make sure you publish that one video a week, and be of the mentality that you're going to be doing this for the next 3 to 5 years before you see anything significant. And she may see some stuff sooner, but I told her that just because you can already tell when someone when she was getting started, she was just asking all these questions like, "Oh, is this the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do? Should I put out this video because the holidays are coming up?" And like literally none of that stuff matters right now. The only thing you have to do is just do the work consistently for a year, reevaluate, and then do it again. That's what I
Amen.
told her. And that's what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, you need that person kind of like we would have progressed a lot quicker if we had someone to be there and say, okay, we're going to put this out, and then be like, no, you're getting off track. Just do this. Keep doing it. And so that's what goes on inside the elite fleet. We kind of just drill sergeant people.
Yeah. It's needed. It's funny. It's kind of funny in the elite fleet. I noticed that like we'll be talking to someone for a little bit, maybe like a month, 2 months, and we're going through the same questions that everyone else asks about suppliers, this, and this. I give the same answer that I explained in the videos of the course, and then a few months later, you see in there, or even sometimes sooner, you see in the wins channel, oh, I got my first sale, screenshot, and then they stop talking to us.
Yeah. Yeah, and they say, "Hey, you want to come on the podcast?" They say, I don't know."
Yeah. Then they pop in and ask questions like once a month.
So that's what it is. In the beginning, you have a lot of questions, and really, it just comes down to taking the right action. And I understand the hesitation. I understand the jitters, because we still go through it with certain things, but we know that in the end, we have to just take the action consistently, and then we can interpret our own results under while also looking at what other people have to say as to what they think is the best route forward. We at least have our own experience to then apply that going forward.
Yeah. You know what I want to, Mike, the only other business model, because Alex just said YouTube course beta coming soon to the elite fleet. Do you remember when Jared was, of course you remember, when he was doing the, what was it called? YouTube automation thing that he spent like $10,000 on and failed? Yes. I kind of wish like that would have worked for him, because I feel like that's kind of a cool thing. Like it seems so passive. Like you just have someone editing like viral YouTube videos, and then
Yeah, I mean, I think you could tell out the gate that that's not going to work, based how they were doing it, because of just the production cost versus the like the earnings that are going to come back from it.
Yeah, well, you really have to get a lot of views. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, when something is contingent upon doing really well, then that's usually when it fails. Like you should be able to test something, and like even if it screws up 90% of the way, then it should still work.
Well, Mike, I don't know you're onto something good. I don't know if that's 100% true, because I mean, it's kind of similar to the ad revenue that we're talking about for these niche sites that we just went over. You have to have a large volume of traffic for it to work. But yeah, I guess what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think with like ad revenue, yeah, like the earnings situation is similar, but to put out a website, to put out like say 100 articles, that if you do it the right way, like what we teach with the KGR and some basic keyword research stuff, a good percentage of those are going to rank, and it's going to be more evergreen traffic versus say something like YouTube.
Yeah,
so I think just it's a lot more reliable in that sense.
Yeah. I think there's a way to execute it. We're kind of getting into speculation territory, which always a waste of time. But I think there's a way to execute it to where it could work, but not like we're gonna do it.
But that's again just the type of thing that like is so the odds are not in your favor. And so like with high ticket drop shipping, or even doing SEO like content sites, say for a Clickbank product or like a Wayfair product, something that you have a little bit more margin with.
Yeah.
And like the odds are so much more in your favor because you screw up, you make a sale, it kind of covers your bases there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with like the Facebook ads, AliExpress stuff, because if you don't do it right, all you're relying on is making a sale that you make like $10 on.
Yeah.
And so there's not enough room for error.
Yeah.
So I think we've shown, even with the content sites, we've made a lot of errors. But it's still, you put out a lot of articles, stuff ranks, stuff earns, and then it keeps earning. So it's not like, it's not really the same thing versus a YouTube video where you put out a YouTube video, especially if you don't have a big following. And, if it's not evergreen type of search term, then it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, let's not speculate on that. We can go back and forth, but I don't want to go off too far on a tangent. So, Focused says, "What up, doe? What am I, a deer?" He says, "Joe, you're right, man. You look under the weather." I don't like the winter. I get like seasonal. Like I don't feel right when it gets dark early, but it's all good. So this is what I do.
You just been in a K-hole for 3 months.
Yeah, keyword hole. Don't get it.
Yes.
Don't
K
get
for
it
keyword.
twisted. If you're listening, Obama, don't come after me.
Obama.
All right. That's it, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget, buildassetsonline.com/playbook. Grab our free course today. And yeah.
As always, take it easy.